The galaxy had always believed that power belonged to the oldest empires. For nearly 100,000 years, the Celestial Accord ruled every known star system through fear, overwhelming fleets, and weapons capable of extinguishing suns. Entire civilizations surrendered at the mere sight of their silver battle banners. Among the countless worlds beneath their authority was a small blue planet called Earth, inhabited by a species the galaxy dismissed as primitive, emotional, and hopelessly divided. Humans were clever, certainly, but they lacked the ancient technology, psychic abilities, and genetic enhancements possessed by the dominant races. To the Accord, Earth was little more than an inconvenience, a young civilization that refused to kneel. Humanity rejected demands for tribute, refused to dismantle its defenses, and insisted on remaining free. The High Council interpreted this as an insult. To preserve their reputation, they voted unanimously for immediate extermination. The campaign lasted less than 24 hours. Thousands of alien dreadnoughts emerged from hyperspace around the solar system. Orbital bombardments shattered every military installation. Cities vanished beneath columns of white fire. Earth's moon cracked under gravitational weapons. Nuclear arsenals never had the chance to launch. Every satellite, station, and ship was destroyed within minutes. By sunset, Earth was a scorched sphere wrapped in smoke and molten oceans. Across the galaxy, broadcasts declared the extinction of humanity. Billions watched the images. Some celebrated. Others pitied the strange species that had dared to resist. Historians marked the date as humanity's final day. The Accord dismantled every remaining human colony and erased Earth's coordinates from official star maps. To them, the matter was finished. Yet beneath the burning crust of Earth, far below the oceans and mountains, something survived. Decades before the invasion, humanity's greatest scientists had secretly completed Project Exodus. Publicly, it had been described as an experimental deep space research initiative. In reality, it was the largest evacuation plan ever conceived. Hidden beneath Antarctica rested the Genesis Gate, an ancient portal discovered inside a prehistoric cavern older than life itself. Archaeologists initially believed it to be an alien relic, but its construction defied every known civilization. When activated, the gateway opened not through space but across dimensions. Only a few thousand leaders knew its true purpose. As alien fleets descended, millions of carefully selected engineers, scientists, soldiers, children, artists, and farmers disappeared through the portal aboard colossal arc vessels. The evacuation lasted only 17 minutes before Earth fell silent forever. On the other side of the gate lay another universe. It was young, rich with untouched galaxies and empty worlds waiting to be explored. Humanity arrived as refugees. They swore they would never again be helpless. Years became decades. Decades became centuries. Centuries became millennia. Time flowed differently between universes. While only 200 years passed in the original galaxy, nearly 50,000 years unfolded in humanity's new home. During those ages, humans transformed beyond recognition. They colonized millions of planets. Artificial intelligences became trusted partners instead of masters. Diseases vanished. Scarcity disappeared. Entire stars were engineered to produce limitless energy. Gravity itself became a tool. Space folded at human command. Their greatest achievement, however, was neither science nor conquest. It was unity. The wars that had once divided humanity faded into legend. Nations became memories. Humanity evolved into a civilization bound not by governments but by shared purpose. Every child learned about old Earth. Every citizen carried a fragment of soil recovered before the evacuation. They never forgot the day their home died. Their military became unlike anything existence had ever witnessed. Instead of measuring fleets by thousands of ships, humans built them by planetary shipyards. Entire moons became factories. Dyson swarms powered impossible weapons. Artificial stars fueled engines capable of crossing galaxies within seconds. Their flagship, Eternal Dawn, stretched nearly the diameter of Earth's moon. Surrounding it were 1 billion warships, each stronger than the greatest vessel the Celestial Accord had ever built. Yet despite possessing unimaginable power, humanity refused revenge for 50,000 years. Their leaders believed wisdom required patience. They watched their old universe through quantum observation portals, studying every empire that rose and fell. They saw the celestial accord grow arrogant. They saw conquered civilizations suffer. They saw countless species enslaved. The galaxy had learned nothing. Finally, the human assembly reached a unanimous decision. Earth would not be avenged through hatred. It would be liberated through justice. The Genesis Gate opened once more. Across every major system in the old galaxy, impossible readings overwhelmed sensors. Space itself fractured into glowing rings stretching thousands of kilometers wide. From each portal emerged endless formations of black and gold human warships. Their engines shone like newborn suns. Their shields distorted reality. Fleets continued arriving hour after hour until every major trade route and military fortress found itself surrounded. 1 billion ships entered the galaxy without firing a single shot. Panic spread faster than light. Admirals believed the sensors had malfunctioned. Politicians accused rivals of secret alliances. Priests declared the return of ancient gods. Then every communication network received the same transmission. A calm human voice echoed across trillions of receivers. We are humanity. 50,000 years ago you destroyed our world. Today we return, not for revenge, but to end tyranny forever. The Celestial Accord laughed. Their Supreme Marshal ordered immediate attack. 20 million warships charged toward the nearest human fleet. The battle lasted exactly 11 seconds. Human vessels did not launch missiles. They did not fire lasers. Instead, they manipulated localized gravity fields. Entire alien fleets simply stopped moving. Space folded around them like liquid glass. Every hostile ship found itself gently transported into empty prison systems billions of kilometers away, completely intact but utterly powerless. Not a single alien sailor died. Military analysts stared in disbelief. Humanity had defeated history's largest armada without causing casualties. Furious, the Accord unleashed forbidden stellar weapons designed to collapse suns into black holes. Human engineers calmly reversed the gravitational equations. The black holes became stars once again. Every supposedly unstoppable weapon failed. Across hundreds of battles, the pattern repeated. Human fleets disabled rather than destroyed. They captured rather than slaughtered. Every victory exposed the difference between civilizations driven by fear and one built upon responsibility. Smaller alien nations quickly surrendered, not out of terror but admiration. Human medical ships entered devastated worlds, curing diseases thought incurable. Terraforming vessels restored poisoned planets within days. Food replicators eliminated famines. Refugees returned home under human protection. For the first time in living memory, conquered species experienced freedom. Even former enemies found themselves treated with dignity. Confused prisoners asked why humans spared those who had exterminated Earth. The answer became legendary. Admiral Elena Ward, commander of the Eternal Dawn, stood before billions during the liberation of the Accord capital. If we become monsters to punish monsters, she said, then Earth truly died. We fight so no child, human or alien, ever watches their sky burn again. Her words spread faster than any fleet. Entire military divisions refused orders. Soldiers abandoned the Celestial Accord. Citizens overthrew corrupt rulers without human intervention. Within weeks, the oldest empire in galactic history collapsed from within. Its leaders faced fair public trials rather than executions. Evidence of countless atrocities emerged. The verdicts were delivered not by humans but by representatives of every species the Accord had oppressed. Justice belonged to the galaxy itself. Months later, humanity finally returned to the solar system. Earth remained a lifeless scar drifting around a lonely sun. Millions of human ships formed a silent ring around their lost home. No speeches were given. No celebrations occurred. For 1 hour, every human across 2 universes stood in absolute silence. Then the greatest engineering project ever attempted began. One quiet morning, deep inside the restored lunar archives, an ancient alarm sounded for the first time in 50,000 years. Engineers rushed to the chamber beneath the moon, where the original Genesis gate still rested. It had remained dormant since humanity's return, its mysterious creators still unknown. Yet now its surface glowed with unfamiliar symbols. Artificial intelligence Athena, now considered one of humanity's wisest advisors, examined the readings. "This signal does not originate from our universe," she announced. "Nor from the universe humanity escaped to. It comes from somewhere, beyond both." Within hours, Admiral Elena Ward, now preserved through advanced longevity technology, stood before the human assembly. Around her floated holographic maps showing impossible energy waves spreading toward the Milky Way. The signal carried no language, only mathematics older than physics itself. It matched the architecture of the Genesis gate perfectly. Humanity had believed they had mastered every known science, yet this transmission came from beings operating on an entirely different level of existence. The assembly voted unanimously to investigate. Rather than sending scouts, they assembled the most powerful expedition in history. 100,000 exploration vessels, 10 million escort warships, and the flagship Eternal Dawn entered formation around the Genesis gate. As billions watched across the galaxy, the ancient portal expanded far beyond anything previously recorded. It no longer resembled a doorway but an entire galaxy made of light. The fleet crossed together. On the other side lay absolute silence. No stars. No planets. Only endless darkness broken by enormous crystalline structures floating through space. Each structure was larger than a spiral galaxy, covered in glowing patterns that shifted like living equations. Humanity's sensors failed completely. Distance lost meaning. Time flowed unpredictably. Entire fleets experienced seconds while others experienced hours. Then a voice echoed through every human mind simultaneously. "The heirs of Earth have finally arrived." The fleet froze. The voice carried neither hostility nor kindness. It sounded ancient beyond comprehension. A colossal figure emerged from the darkness, not a creature of flesh but one woven from galaxies themselves. Every movement created new constellations. Around it orbited countless Genesis gates identical to the one hidden beneath Antarctica. "I am the last architect," the being said. "We created the gates before your universe was born." Silence filled every bridge. For 50,000 years humanity had wondered who built the gateway that saved their species. Now the answer stood before them. The architect continued. "We planted millions of gates across countless universes. Most civilizations destroyed themselves before discovering them. Some misused them and were erased. Only one species has ever fulfilled the purpose for which the gates were created." Admiral Ward stepped forward. "And that purpose is?" The being's glowing eyes focused on the billion warship civilization that had once been a frightened race on a single blue planet. To become the protectors, not of one galaxy, but of reality itself. At that moment the darkness around the fleet began to fracture. Across the void, enormous crimson rifts tore open. From them emerged ships unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, living vessels made of black energy, each one larger than planets. They moved without engines, swallowing light as they advanced. Athena analyzed them for only a fraction of a second before speaking with unusual urgency. "I cannot calculate their technology." Another pause. Then, for the first time in 50,000 years, the AI added 4 words no human had ever heard from her. "We are outmatched, for now." The billion warship fleet slowly rotated into combat formation. Humanity had survived extinction. They had rebuilt Earth. They had united the galaxy. But as the first enemy from beyond reality approached, every human realized the greatest war in their history was only just beginning.